Everywhere. We everywhere. We everywhere. Yeah.
Basically, oh, now we're up here because I was like, it takes Zoom a little.
Oh, and look, it finally has its focus.
This is our best one yet.
Yes, it is.
YouTubers, we're sorry for the past. Let's see.
Okay. Hey, who's with us? Hey. Did you disappear as fast as you said hey, or is technology hating? Okay, no, seriously. What's good? If you've been here, you already know what we're doing, and you need to get prepared because we finna look. Disclaimer before we introduce ourselves and say anything.
Yeah.
For those of you that are not familiar with me and my style, I'm about to be on full rant mode. Okay, we got somebody. What's up? Sam DJ Cub. Woo-hoo. We got you on IG too. So we are August Renshaw, business coach, and
Imani Aisha, marriage coach, Sarika. Hey, lady.
What's going on? And so I think you cut off on here, but that's okay. So look, we come and do this every single week on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come here, I'm covering that up, to talk to you all about the realities of building your business, dealing with issues in your marriage, because we want you all to be successful.
Absolutely.
And today hey Stephanie.
Hi Stephanie.
We're gonna be a little bit more hardcore than usual today. Yeah. And for those of you that are familiar with me and my quote unquote rant style, all I'm gonna say is there's always some meat though. There's always some love and there's always knowledge and wisdom in what I'm gonna bring. Yeah. But ladies, we are about to call you out. I know that I titled my video, The Lies We Tell Ourselves in Business and Marriage. Those infamous words.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I did Denial, Anxious to River in Egypt. False wives.
Hey, who else we got? Hey, Shasta, how you doing, darling? So look.
Yeah.
Should we just go ahead and get through the formalities so we can get to the topic?
Tell them what they want. Tell them about the rewards. Let's let people know what we've been doing.
Okay, so the reality is that this is an awesome opportunity for plenty of people to get the stuff that they need in order to transform their mindset and really put some things on your mind. My thing is, please, and I say please, with a capital P, let's share and get this message out because women in business need this. We're talking to boss wives. We're talking to entrepreneurs. Hey, Rosemary. It's hard. Look, it's freaking hard. And I don't mean hard as in exhausting, but it's challenges. There are challenges that we have to face as women, hey, KK, in business and in our marriage. Yeah. And we're working as a team. And so we're giving it to you real, raw, cut, and we want you to share. Yeah. But it's a motivator for you to share. Push that button, share this video, because you know we're going to bring it. You get your name entered into a drawing 3 times to get a free session with us. You want a free session with us. And when you come, you actually leave with something, not a sales pitch. You leave with something. Being here and watching, thank you so much, KK. Being here and watching, you also get your name put into the drawing. Yeah. And if you tag anyone that you know needs this information, once again, you get put into a drawing again. For my YouTubers and my people on IG that happen to be joining us, come find us on Facebook and share and get the word out. Yes. And that's how you get entered. But we got something else coming up that's twice as juicy, way more important to you than that.
Yeah. We had to take things to the next level. You know, Couch Conversations has been amazing for us. It's fun. We're literally sitting on the couch. We're chilling. We're ourselves. And you guys know that we've been beasting this out. Hey, Damari. Hi. And so we said, well, what do we need to do to take this to the next level? Because we're always saying, well, how can we, and the word of the rest of the year seems like elevate. So how can we hashtag elevate in this space for a demographic that we feel has been underserved in this way? Exactly. Okay. So we were like, we are going to do a high touch, fun, because we don't do boring.
No, we don't.
Engaging and truly, legitimately transformative 5-day free challenge. Yes. We're a little bit of a nut because what we deal with can be very heavy, and we know we have that harmony between the lightness and the transformation and what it is that you need in that information. That's amazing. And so this 5 days is going to be so pivotal
Yes.
And we're so excited about that. And so we wanted to off the top, to let you guys know, remind you about the free 5-day challenge, the Fix My Business, Fix My Marriage challenge, so that you have the tools you need to get more clients, to get those more sales, that August is getting with her clients as we are literally speaking these things into existence right now, and still get the support that you're craving from your husband. And those two things marrying together is it's just so critical. And so we're bringing it to you.
And because we honestly, because we've had some response to this, but we haven't had the overwhelming response that we anticipated. And we want to give you ladies the benefit of the doubt that you don't even really understand what's possible, and that you are in denial. Okay, seriously. And so we're creating a challenge, and we're going to show you what you need to expand your business and show you some holes in your relationship and how they affect your business. And if you want it, then she's already put the link in on her video. We'll put it in on mine. But the challenge is free. It kicks off on August the 6th. It's going to be live. We don't do a bunch of pre-recorded, fabricated crap.
Right.
We are here to touch. We are high touch, real time. So that's the gist of the announcements.
Yeah.
Shall we get down to the conversation at hand and start discussing the topic?
Just take a breath. Yes, ma'am.
So maybe we are to start off with a question. I love audience feedback. I wish I could do this in a better position today. Audience feedback. What are the lies we tell ourselves in business and in marriage? And I don't know if you want to go first or not. Both of us, we kind of hot today. So who go?
I was gonna say, we can rock paper scissors. I was gonna say you go first, and I'm going, because everybody know, that those business lies are coming up real strong when we seeing them come up.
Okay,
I got you.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. So one of the things that I love is the fact, hey, Michelle, that's my auntie.
Hey, auntie.
One of the lies you guys tell when you say that you're okay with your business is you tell yourself that you're okay financially. That's real talk. That's one of the things you do. And what do I mean by that? You are right. You're acting like what you're going through is normal. Oh, well, I'm a new entrepreneur, and so it's supposed to be this hard. I'm supposed to charge this low. And this kind of ties into what we talked about last time with assumptions, but your assumptions cause you to tell lies. And so I hear a lot of women lie all the time and say that they're okay with their business, but I also see them let money go all the time because you're not okay. For something as simple as this. Paint this picture in your mind. How many of you that have a product or service has had someone come to you, and let's say you're on a telephone call with them and you're telling them, oh yeah, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. And they're like, oh my God, that's what I need. You're like a godsend. I've been needing this help ever since yesterday. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna send you the PayPal link and you can just take care of that. And then we'll set your appointment up, or you might even go ahead and put them on your calendar. And then you go and do the infamous, I sent you the message through Instant Messenger. I see they saw it. But they didn't go and pay immediately. And so you say, well, I'll wait. You never know what could have happened. And then the night passes and they still ain't paid. And then what do? You sit there and you get confused and you're like, okay, should I call them or should I email them? Or should I be patient and should I wait and give them a chance to take care of it? Now, I got a whole lot to say wrapped around that, but I'm just trying to wonder why, if you're a boss, if you're confident in what you do, and if someone expressed an immediate need, why didn't you go after the sale right away? Why didn't you collect the money right away? Why didn't you have a conversation around the money if they hesitated to say, well, let's talk about what's going on and what kind of options I could give you? You want to know why? Because you're not okay. You're not okay with yourself. And as much as you would like to think that it's everything else under the sun, when it's not, it's you. When your mojo is high, when you know that you have a gift to give to the earth, to the planet, to the people, when you know you're changing lives and you're helping people, you taking 50 pounds off of a woman who is about to become a diabetic. You coaching somebody to double their income. You are helping someone to get past some trauma, some emotional issues, and some spiritual healing. You are soothing people with the touch of your hands through massage therapy. You are helping a woman who has esteem issues and who, because of maybe some type of damage like by fire or something like that, and you're a makeup artist, and it's not that she's not happy with herself, but she still needs, you know, training with beauty and edification for herself. Whatever you do that's changing lives, why didn't you go in for it all out, like a doctor seeing someone on the street saying, whoa, don't you move them, let me take care of this because you could cause more injury, you know, just jumping into the zone of doing what you're doing. That is evidence of a lack of confidence.
Absolutely.
That's evidence of a lack of direction. That's evidence of a lack of knowledge. Some of you may not know how to navigate the call. You may not know exactly what you should say. What are the do's and don'ts, and what is or isn't okay? You don't know that it's all right for you to be able to say to someone, hey, you taking up time on my schedule. Of course, you don't say it like this, but I want you to understand. Why should you feel bad about saying to someone, excuse me?
Yeah.
You said that you needed this like yesterday. I opened up my schedule for you. And when you don't pay, you take somebody else's slot. And if you got the slot that somebody else wanted and you don't take it, they may go to someone else. And when I don't get your money and I go back to them, I don't get their money either. You don't really have boss mentality, baby.
Right.
And even though I'm saying it in a gutter fashion, there's a professional way to execute this thing. You'll get it if you come to the challenge. And that's real talk.
Yeah.
You're going to have to meet us halfway. We're going to have a quarantine place where you can come and get it if you come into the challenge. But understanding how to have that confidence, navigating what's really going on with you is imperative. But that's an example of where you say your business is okay, but you secretly load sales and you keep on having these people that got you, oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And you ain't getting the money.
Yes. And I know this is your.
I'm stopped. Go ahead.
Because it just made me think of something. This is still, on the business front, right? Because you talk about that doctor. That's what triggered this. I just read something, and if you're dealing with your business because you're dealing with that lack of confidence you're talking about. You're not honest, like you're not really okay, but you don't want people to know that you're not really okay. You don't want to put that out there because then it makes you feel less of an authority, which makes you feel less confident. And then it's just this spiral. But the reality is that creates all of these excuses not to get the money, to leave money on the table like you talked about. And the reality is, in an analogy, if you were bleeding on the floor on the ground, okay, and you be like, I'm calling 911, I'm calling an ambulance right now. You don't say, you know what, I do have that baby shower in an hour. I don't know if I can call right now, or let me wait until my husband gets here before I call. I might be, can I put some pressure on this? Wait, do I have? You know what? I'm just not feeling really. I'm feeling a little tired. Maybe I should take a nap first. I had that argument with my child. She acting crazy, and my spouse didn't do this. So I'm not really feeling up to calling 911 because it sounds crazy. It sounds ridiculous. But the reality is that the hunger for your business is so strong. It can feel like this life or death thing. It can feel like the life of your dream or the death of your dream, but you don't act on it because of that lack of confidence, because you're not being honest with yourself first. And you're not making the moves. Instead, you're making the excuses. They feel like reasons. We were talking about this yesterday.
Yes.
But they're excuses.
And I want to say this because I want to make sure the picture is painted really, really clear. There's one woman that I looked at, and she came on the scene like she was a boss. I want y'all to understand, I see right through all of y'all shit. I'm sorry. I really, really do. But she was online like she was the boss, and, I do this and I do that and blah, 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 blah. But then every once in a while, she would put an offer out or she would say something. And I could see from her content and her offers, I'm like, she's struggling to get clients. And so it's one thing to do, flash sales and do, really cool offers and serving people that may have a lesser amount of money. There's a difference between doing that and seeing desperation in some of you guys' marketing tactics, where you don't walk with any authority and you have no firm footing on what you're offering. And this woman would follow me. She would talk to me. She would smile at me. She would do all this stuff. But whenever I talked to her, what she would be trying to do is to match my boss energy. You know, so if I'm gonna talk to August a boss, I'm gonna have to be a boss. And it's like, you are a boss in your own way. But when you're talking about your business, baby, especially since you understand I'm not judgmental, let's go ahead and be vulnerable. And talking to that woman, I had to let her see that she was marketing herself as one thing, but she was selling something that was completely different. And people didn't even really know who she was, or what she had to offer. I have had several women that have been in business for themselves for at least 10 years. And they have had successes if they've been in business for 2 to 3. And they were going around with their persona looking like they were okay. Whether it was their makeup, it was their jewelry, it was their backdrop. And I'm gonna be honest with you all, that lack of vulnerability that they want to bring, actually, it bleeds. It bleeds through everything you do and the way you present yourself. Because people, don't get me wrong, as you continue to upgrade in your business, your image and all of that stuff upgrades too. But y'all need to know, August didn't become a boss because of all of her sales. The boss mindset is something that you bring to the table. So you put on the crown and step into the queendom. You don't wait for people to give you that, because then that's not a queen. You're looking for permission. You're supposed to carry the essence. So when I was driving Uber and still wearing t-shirts, August was still coming up on here like I was an authority. I had people messaging me, asking me, did I have room in my schedule? And I hadn't had a client yet. And so that boss mentality, a lot of you all, you really don't have it. And the sad thing is, back to what you said, and I'm getting ready to pass the mic because we need to talk about the marriage side of this, is when you guys are coming out here and you're talking like you got it going on and you don't want to be vulnerable because you don't want to be judged, you are setting yourself back. You're not going to be able to go where you want to go. And I'm going to tell you something, nobody knows everything. And so in this part of your life, you don't know. And if you don't go and get the help, a lot of you, your dream is literally going to die with you, because you don't want to be humble enough and say that you don't know how to sell. You know, because what you all are doing is you're thinking, hey there, what you're doing is saying that the struggles that I'm facing are normal. It's normal for me to talk to 10 people and only close 2 or 3. No, it's not. It's normal, and it's extraordinary to expect to close 8. Hello? It is. Oh, well, it's normal. I should be struggling and I shouldn't be profitable for the first 5 years. Well, maybe if you was born in 1975 and established in a business in 1990, but with technology and the stuff that you all have right now, for you to be struggling like that for 5+ years, that is not the norm. And so if you don't get around a different circle of influence where you can see what's possible, you're going to continue to live and breathe the lies. And then you'll do things like say, well, if it's meant for me, it's for me. God gonna send me everything I need. Everything is gonna work out. No, dog, you a God-like individual with God-like characteristics. I'm gonna need you to get out there and get your stuff.
You know, and it's funny because that vulnerability you talked about, I'm gonna use that as my segue. But I just, for those of you maybe on my list, for those of you who read some of the things that I've shared just recently, it was very vulnerable. And in those moments, those are the times that people want to read about. Those are the times that they understand that you get it. Those are the times where they don't think you faking it to make it. Those are the times where they get to connect with you. And we talked maybe 2 weeks ago about relationship and about connection, about how important that was. And so the vulnerability is real, but we get that can be the blocking point, the stopping point for you into moving you into your next level, into your next part of elevation, because you're not feeling that you can be vulnerable about what's really going on in your business because of the persona that you feel like you have to put up in your business. And you're not feeling like you can be fully vulnerable with your spouse because they don't get it. They're not supporting you. They don't see that your dream as something that needs to go, that they need to go hard for, that you're going hard for. They don't understand your hustle, the muscle that you're trying to build, the legacy, everything that you're trying to do around that. And when you're on your phone, it looks like, well, you're just on your phone. It doesn't look like you're working, you're doing your business, you're beasting things out, that you're constantly moving and shaking, especially if you're in a situation where they're doing something and it's bringing in money twice a week, or it's bringing in money every month. And you're like, well, I'm trying to close these sales. I'm working on this next program that's going to bring in money every month. I've got this client. I'm going to see if they renew. It doesn't look the same. Like you do X and get that money right then, coming in each day or each week. the way that you want it to look. And so that causes the strain in the marriage. But here's the thing that I see, right? Because the thing with you said you could see right through, and I see right through as well, because being a support system to women in business who are beasting and going to get those clients and to get those sales, this one right here, okay? But I see the contradictions.
Yes.
And I'm like, and it almost in my head, I'm like, did you hear it? Did you hear yourself? Because you just said, I remember listening to a woman in a live video in business, beautiful woman, and was just like, I'm doing this, and I didn't really tell my spouse, how much I want to invest in this program, how much I want to invest in this for my business. It's like, okay, my little antenna went up, all right. You didn't really have that conversation. Like, he's cool with it though. You have to put the Band-Aid over, like, he's cool with it though, but I didn't really tell him how much I wanted to invest because this is really important to me. Okay. And then the next time you talk, you're talking about, well, I'm frustrated because I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm trying to go in here and build these programs and, do these reach outs, and you're over here talking crazy to me. And you know what? I don't even need that. I don't need you. I could do this by myself. You know what I'm saying? Or the next time you're joking about, chilling, going out with the ladies, having some drinks and being like, well, I'll divorce my husband and go to, slip on my town or beach somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, do you hear what you're saying?
You know what? I think that sometimes y'all think we stupid. Is it that you don't hear what you're saying, or is it that you think that we stupid? Yeah. I mean, and I'm serious, because I get perturbed by BS.
Yeah.
I really, really do. Yeah. And so a lot of you all watch these videos, and I give real life examples. And so I remember I had to tell someone that wanted to invest with me that she was like, I'm coming. I said, yeah, well, people that usually don't do it now don't do it later.
And that's true.
And the reason why I did this was because, here's an example. You guys in your marriages, I talked to a woman. She's like, oh my God, I'm already working, with another coach, but I feel like I'm being journaled to death. That's what she told me. She literally told me out of her mouth, I feel like I'm being journaled to death. And I said, okay, well, I know that person that you're working with, that they're a powerhouse, they're really caring, that they really care about different things. Everybody's got their strong point. I said, but at the end of the day, my strong point is helping you walk up in your authority and your power, get out there to get them sales, to get your money, to do everything in my power to make sure that you hit the right market so you can charge the right prices so that you get the right people to pay you. And the first thing out of her mouth, that's what my husband been saying, that he needs to start seeing me make some money. And so I told her, I was like, yeah, I got the PPP programs coming up, and we're going to go over all of this stuff. And she's like, oh my God, yeah, I can't wait to do this, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, my husband support me with anything. She went on and on and on about how she just needed to tell him what it was. And I even told her if she would prefer, I could get on the phone with both of them and to discuss it. Literally, because there was a relationship with her, I didn't send her through as many loopholes, because typically if you say that you're going to need your spouse's approval to be able to work with me, I don't need you translate my information. I want your husband on the call with us so that he can understand exactly what you're going to get when you work with me. And by the way, all of my clients' husbands love me. I just have to put that out there. And that's real talk. But when it came time to make the decision, she said, oh, well, he really just doesn't want me to have more than one coach at a time. You got a business, you invested in a coach, you already said you uncomfortable, that you're not getting where you want to go. Your husband isn't liking where you're at. He's saying that he needs you to make money. You're speaking to someone who specializes in helping you make that money. And then you come back and say he doesn't want me to have more than one coach. You guys, look, I'm going to tell you something. You got to stop wanting people to be straight up and be real with you. Y'all hate it when y'all send them invoices and people don't respond to y'all. Y'all go crazy because you realize you got a system that can show you if they open it up. You hate it when you send through something through instant messenger and that little bubble drop and they saw it and they didn't respond. When people make me offers and I don't want them, I'm a fucking woman. And I say, thank you for the offer. However, I decline. What I don't do is I don't come with some BS excuses. I keep it real. And your inability to just let your no mean no means, once again, you're not operating with a boss mindset. And I keep on saying this. If you're not showing up as a boss and your husband is watching you build the business, on one hand, he feels sorry for you. On another hand, he may feel like you're joking. And part of you navigating through getting the support is by having this woman right here tell you, what you need to be doing. Yes, I know y'all don't want to hear it this way, but what you need to do to check yourself. Because if you're not being honest with yourself, ain't nobody else going to be able to take you seriously, and your husband is not going to take you seriously. And for those of you that can say, yeah, I hear you, August, however, you don't know what's going on in my household. Well, because you put up the butt, that's another angle. She got you there too. But we're going to have to start having real conversations, or y'all going to keep on entrepreneur faking and be back in corporate America. I'll be seeing your pictures at your cubicle. What is it going to be? What is it going to be?
Yeah, absolutely not. And, you know, and I just said this to somebody, so like you said that, I said, this isn't a maybe zone, and it's okay. I was like, it's okay if the answer is no. So either it's yes or it's no. It's not that maybe, because we were just talking about this, because here's the thing. How many of you ladies out there ever said, you know, I know in my spirit that I need this, right? Send some hearts, because I'm hearting, you know, for myself, that there's stuff out there, like, I know in my spirit that I need this. But the crazy thing about the human psyche, okay, and I'm not a psychologist or a scientist, but real talk, I see the hearts, awesome. The human psyche is that one of the things that we do, and I see your comment, I'm gonna get to that real quick, Camille. One of the things that we do, and we talked about this, is we allow our brain to talk us out of the things that our spirit needs. And we talk ourselves into the things that we feel like our brain wants. You want the TV, you know, for me in my field, I mean, real talk, you want the fancy wedding. I'm not hating on the fancy wedding. I had a bomb ass fancy wedding. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. Thank you. You have the amazing wedding, you want the big house, you want the Lexus, you want to drive in the good cars. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you are talking yourself into getting these things that you desire, that are material, that temporarily feel good to you, but the actual relationship that you have vowed to have until death do you part, you have an issue, and you start wincing about investing in that, knowing that it's what your spirit needs, that's a different thing, right? And so the contradictions of trying to say, oh my gosh, it's not as bad as it seems, like I'm talking about all these things that I don't, like my marriage, like I don't feel heard, and I'm feeling dismissed, and I feel like you don't get it, and I feel like you don't care about my dream, and I feel like you don't, love me enough to help me take care of this so that we can build this legacy together. And you're saying, and then you realize, like, oh snap, that sounds really shitty, like I have the worst husband ever. Let me course correct this and say, but it's not that bad because X, Y, and Z. And I know there's good stuff. I was saying, you don't have to convince me. I know there's beautiful things about the relationship. But the reality, what we want to work on are the parts where you want to improve, where you want to elevate, because the women that we see, if you elevate your business, and let me not say if, when you elevate your business, because I'm in a spirit of expectation that the women on here are making that choice to say yes to elevating their business. So when you elevate your business, and now you got to get the VA, now you got to get the team, now you got to make sure that, you're ready with your speaker packet, because you on demand to be speaking in all these places and creating these workshops and doing all of these things, right? You're like,
you're going and growing, baby.
You're going and growing. You in this space. But you were like, oh, we're good over here in the marriage. And you did not make sure that your marriage elevated with that, baby. You're going to look down in that marriage and be like, this feels like an anchor. Ouch. My marriage feels like an anchor now. Because now I'm in this place in my business. I did not nurture it. I did not support it. I did not make sure that it elevated with me in this realm of building my business and being profitable in my business. And now I'm looking at it as an anchor, and I'm wondering, like, can I even stay in this space? Because is it going to be good for me? But the reality is, had you been conscious and intentional, had you said, you know what, it's okay that I need to improve in these areas. It's okay that I need to elevate my marriage along with my business. In fact, it should be expected. Then the outcome that you see on the other end is the spouse, like you got Mr. Crenshaw, I got, my man, I got awesome. It's like that is there with you in the trenches, that feels like an uplifter, that feels like an encourager. How many out there, how many ladies you listen to, that's what you want? You want the encourager, you want the supporter, you want the friend, you want the one who's going to be there by your side as you have grown and elevated your business, as you go through the trenches, as you go through the ebb and flow and the ups and downs and those stressful moments where you come out your face and you say something crazy and they like take a step back because they understand how stressful it is, and they do things to make it less stressful for you as as you're, trying to build and beast, and right before launch, you might feel like a little crazy person.
Hello.
But that's what you want. And I see that that's what you guys want. And so what are you going to do to get there, right?
Absolutely, because it's not going to just happen because you want it. And let me go back to the whole thing with the people not being real with themselves. What are you secretly saying?
Yeah.
How many of you, like you said, you've heard people say it on a video and then they try to scratch it out and act like they didn't, but you say things like, well, I may not be getting ready to get a divorce, but if we did get divorced, I could handle it on my own. How many of you lay in bed at night sometimes saying, shit, I'll be glad when these kids get older, because that's your escape route. You know, sometimes you can, my thing is this, if the thought crosses your mind,
yep.
If it happens just because one day it's like something crazy, who is this man? It's one thing, you'd be like, no, that's not what I'm thinking, because we can't police ourselves for every negative thought. Right. But if on a consistent basis you have let the D word, divorce, slip out your mouth, if on a consistent basis you find yourself saying, well, as soon as these kids get old enough, I'm going to be getting out of here. If you find yourself always having negative subconscious thoughts, when are you going to own up to the thoughts that you have? And how long do you think it's going to be before it actually begins to permeate through your spirit and through your actions in your relationship? I'm not talking about you can't have an up and down, and I'm not talking about you can't have a hard time. I'm talking about that this begins to be something that comes into your mind on a regular basis. If you are, hey darling, if you guys are not being real about what you're going through, then how in the hell do you plan on being successful? And I'm going to tell you something. Honestly, I'm going to say it for her. Okay, I know she could say it again herself, but what I'm really having a hard time with, ladies, is your lies, your flat out lies. I cannot, and I said this before, I cannot count on one hand, because it's too many of the ladies out there that have said, okay, such and such and such is going on. We have a conversation about their issue, what they're dealing with, and then their spouse comes up. Yeah. And then here it is, I'm working with them to navigate through it. And I remember that there was a time when she was in a group with me. She had a group program that wasn't nothing but $197. And I even had to tell one of my clients, baby, look, as much as I want to help you with your business, your household is so raggedy that what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to withdraw from my program, and I'm going to need you to go to Imani's program, because that's what you need. And that woman looked at me and said, no, what you just did for me and what you talked me through, that helped me out. But you want to know what? 30 days later, she still was struggling in her business because she hadn't dealt with that shit. And so I know what you guys are dealing with and what you're going through, because you admitted to me as a business coach. And then when I go and say, let me go get some help, let me not only create a container where you can get your packaging, your pricing right, get your profits right, get your money up, give you a coach that serves like none other, high touch, real time, all up in your face, pretty much damn near on demand, giving you everything that you're paid for and then some, because I'm going to always have the wow factor. You're going to be like, shit. My declaration for myself is I want to serve you at the highest degree, that I give your next coach a run for your money. I don't even want you to have a next coach, but you may need another coach and another level of expertise. And I want you to be like, well, damn, is that all you gonna do for me? Because August Crenshaw served like a motherfucker. I mean, like, seriously, I need you to hear it hardcore. And so then I go and I say, you know what? Because I see her genius. And so my thing is, for those of you that know me, for those of you that know me, you ought to know that I can't team up with just anybody to help somebody with their relationships. And so if I'm going to get somebody, I got to get someone that is a beast like me, that is an encourager like me, that's going to love the hell out of people like me, that's going to serve like me, because it can't be no big eyes, no little U's. It can't be no shadows. It can't be like I'm the big boss dog and, you know, she's here with me. It's like we here and we got each other. And so us being girded and having each other has us in a position to have you. But it seems like throwing the marriage component into this mix has done something where you all are running scared even more. You're going to be in a quarantine closed area. It's only going to be a few of you all that are allowed. And only God is going to put the right people in the right place at the right time to get the right help. That's going to be the divine support system for one another. And so at some point, which if you need it, we'll be putting the post out there. You guys need some fancy vernacular, some typical marketing jargon in order to convince you to go over the top. That's fine. But as far as Couch Conversations is concerned, you are either going to get into the trenches and you're going to battle this thing out, or you're going to miss out. I cannot and I will not lie to you. I tell y'all, I'm going to get down in the trenches with you. I'm a down and dirty level coach because I understand what it is that you're dealing with. And I got a woman by my side that's going to do the exact same thing. So when are you going to say yes to the fact that you can get away from mediocrity? I feel like the majority of you, and I see you, Mackenzie, we're going to get your comment. I feel like the majority of you, maybe I should be a little bit more sympathetic with my conversation. You don't know no better? You don't know it could be better? You don't know that your expectations should be higher? Because I know for me personally, I'm going to get married. My disclaimer, I love my family, but my grandfather was a whore. My father, he cheated on his wife too. All my cousins, they cheated on their girlfriends. All my uncles, they had babies on my aunties. So at the end of the day, marriage was not in the cards for me. But when I did decide to get married, I said I would be married on the terms that I believe was for me. And I ended up getting blessed with a husband where I don't worry about those kind of things. And I got support and I got love and I got companionship to a whole nother other level. So I understand the possibilities. Ain't nothing in my marriage looking like the vast majority of the marriages that I saw when I was growing up, because I refused to lie. I refused to feed into the lie that this is how it has to be. I refused to believe that I had to go through the 7-year itch. And I refused to believe that at least the first 5 years was going to be the hardest. We refused to believe. We used to say all the time, a declaration that me and my husband spoke over ourselves is that we were going to be a marriage that was going to be an example for all other marriages. And since we decreed that over ourselves from the beginning, that is exactly what we have been. So maybe I should be a little bit more gentle because you all don't know that there's something better out there. Maybe I should be a little bit more gentle because what you've seen is your reality, because I understand if that's what you've been conditioned to, then maybe that's your reality. But we're here to call you up out of there. Which one you going to take, the red pill or the blue pill? What you going to do?
Yes.
You got an opportunity to forge your own destiny and choose life over your marriage, life over your business, life over your family, life over your choices, life over everything. But we ain't going to give it to you. You got to decide you want to take it, but we'll go hard with you. Let me stop. Mackenzie, what you talking, Mackenzie? Come on, because she said,
I know. I was like, she said facts. You can't excel in business if your marriage is struggling. You are struggling with your children if you aren't willing to admit either. Not me. When I need help, I seek help. No time for games. I'm out here trying to win. Yes, Mackenzie. Hey, Nakima, and you, Camille said for your permeation, if it hasn't permeated already. Hey, and I know you said, oh my God, I'm blaming my kids today. LOL. Hey, oh, okay.
Okay.
And you said, no, the reality check is needed for many of us. Absolutely, because, you know, August spoke to this, and I definitely was going there. I know we were hitting the ping pong back and forth. August spoke to this because we had a conversation, because we do converse, because we know how to pivot, because we look at what people need. We observe who's coming, what they're talking about, what it is that they need. And that's how we don't just create something up out our ass. We actually create something that we know people have said that they needed and they wanted. And it's like, okay, here it is. Yes. Either you gonna take it or you're not gonna take it. And the reality is, you say you gotta get down in the trenches, and I say, look, I'll go to the moon and back with you, but you know what? You gotta suit up. I can't want it more than you want it for yourself. And the truth is, most of my clients say it feels like I do want it more than them, because of how I come in, because that I can see the vision of what's possible for them that they can't even see until they get there. And they be like, damn, I'm getting more than I thought I was gonna get when I told you what I wanted in the beginning of this journey. And I've only been dealing with you for a month or two. You know what I'm saying? Yes. What's gonna happen in these next few months? And that's the reality that people need to see, because those contradictions that I talked about are absolutely the lies, are absolutely the cover-ups, are absolutely the facades that people put over their marriage. Yeah. And I put a post up the other day because I felt like there was so much shame around admitting, like, I've had issues, you know, in my marriage. I've had an issue here. I know that I'm building my business and I'm parenting and I'm promoting, and I can't be in a space where I feel like my environment is literally tearing me down from what it is that I want to do, the legacy I want to build. Because the legacy that you're building, the legacy that you're building for yourself, the legacy that you're building for your children, because I'm a child of divorce, twice child of divorce, if you really know my story. So I was looking like, oh, what am I going to do, you know, when it comes to marriage as well? And how was I going to navigate that so that my children didn't have to go through and see what it is that I saw? And the reality is that if you are in that space, your environment that you are in on a regular basis affects you to the umpteenth degree. So you change your business and you're working, unless you're going to sit in a box in a closet by yourself with a laptop and a Bluetooth, and you're not going to deal with anybody else, this is a no-brainer.
Absolutely. And you know what? And I'm gonna make sure that I draw the distinction right here really clear, because what's wrong is that a lot of you all, I know that some of this is requiring us to educate you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna show you a parallel, a direct parallel to what's going on in your marriage and how it affects your business. And no, this is not one that I've given you before. I had to tell one of my clients, because she has a very combative husband who has a lot of stuff to say, but he don't have a whole lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, you need to talk to him. He was also doing stuff on the back end with her business. And because he was even spamming me, I was like, oh my God, if he's doing this on her behalf, he's going to ruin her reputation. And so I had to speak to this lady, and I'm like, you got to talk to him. You know, then in the deeper conversation, I found out that she hadn't even told him that she was making money yet in the business either, because she was like, yeah, well, you know, he don't spend like I spend, he don't save like I save. So all of these dynamics are coming up in the relationship that are severely off. And from day one, I told her, if you don't nip in the bud, if you don't nip it in the bud, what you're dealing with your spouse, then you're not going to be able to excel in business. Because see, the universe is real smart, and the universe really loves us, and God ain't trying to keep nothing from us. And like I said, when you don't have your stuff together, you become collateral damage for another woman. And so if you can't stand up to your husband, not being combative, not causing discord, but saying, hey, I am the CEO of this business, you're doing X, Y, and Z, this is not going to work, we need to sit down, we need to discuss the vision for the family, what's the legacy, how does my business play a part in this, and what needs to be respected, what can't be touched, what can't be touched, how should the finances be navigated. If you can't level up and do that in your marriage, what characteristic is that exhibiting? That is exhibiting the characteristic of a person who doesn't like conflict, because that's not the only one, but I'm giving you an example. A person who typically will not discuss those issues is like, well, you know, you just would rather take the high road. You'll even tell yourself that what you're really doing is that you're being the good guy by taking the high road, because you don't want any conflicts in your household. But nevertheless, you still got a conflict that's brewing up. It's bubbling up. It's going to bubble over, and both of y'all going to get scarred. But anyway, but that lack of conflict comes up in your business when you have a client that you really don't like, that you need to fire, when you have a situation with someone who hasn't paid you on time. Some of you all don't even get your invoices paid, and people don't care when I'm gonna tell you something, and I say this with all respect. My clients are afraid to not pay me on time, to the degree that every once in a while I have to let them know, no, baby, let me tell you something. I'm about my money, but I'm about you. And I know that shit happens with anybody. And so that I'm there for them. But the way that I present myself is I don't play with my money. But some of you'll be like, nah, August, that ain't the case. I wouldn't play. But I'm gonna tell you something. I had one client, and it's so funny that she had the audacity to be mad when a woman that she sent an invoice to that was 4 days late said, oh yeah, I'm at the park with my kids, I'll give you that money later. And she was like, well, I just don't understand all this. You know, it didn't take but 2 seconds to just click the link on PayPal and push the button, and it was going to automatically just send the money to me. But mind you, I had to check her, because when her bill was due with me and she didn't pay, I had to say, wait a minute, but I had to send you an invoice, and send you a letter and say, sweetie, all friendship aside, let's not confuse business and personal. Your money was due on this day. I need you to express a day of intention for me. You can't just sit here and hold my money. So it's a matter, you guys really, when you sit back and you look at what you're doing, you do the shit that you don't want. But I had to go to her. But you knew when your bill was due with me. You got the alert for the invoice in advance, and you knew the money wasn't going to be there. Did you pay me the professional courtesy and say that, oh, I'm sorry, and the money's not going to be there, but I'm going to get it to you, but it's going to possibly be, you know, a week late, 3 days late or something. You didn't do that. Thank you. I was going to say, and that is a characteristic of avoidance. So either way, whatever word you want to use for it, trust me, if you cannot have a conversation and get to a revolution with your spouse, it's the characteristic that we notice. When me being a powerhouse of a mindset coach, I see the characteristics that you're displaying. And what you display with your spouse, you're going to display it in your business, and it's going to mess with your money. It's going to mess with your reputation. It's going to mess with your peace of mind. See what it is? I think that they don't even know what to expect from some coaches.
Dang. And that's so sad, because coaching is one of the most powerful things that I have ever experienced, that I have ever done in my life, that transforms people. And I wanted to speak to what you said, and I'm going to ask you guys a question. because you gave them a really good and concrete scenario about a conversation. And I get it all the time about avoiding conflict. So I want you to think in your mind, for your marriage, for your business, what is that thing, that conversation that you need to have with your spouse that you are not currently having because you are avoiding the conflict, because you don't want to rock the boat, because if you get into another thing, you're going to have to spend a few days in silence and your spirit is not going to feel good about showing up on social media for your business or talking to that next client, or you're going to have to talk to that next client because you can't cancel the appointment right now, but you feel like you did a shitty job for them because your spirit is not in a good place because you didn't know how to approach that conversation. And see, that's where I come in, because the way that you're approaching it, thinking that you're doing everything that you can, I'm going to tell you right now that, baby, if you're doing the same thing, you're not doing everything that you can. And it takes you to say, okay, how else can I approach this? And coming to the space open and ready to receive that, and not saying, oh, it's all them, or you know what, I've tried everything, I've done this and this and this and this. Because if you have tried everything, then something at some point, something would have clicked, something would have worked, something would have shifted, something would have changed. So if you want the shift and you want the change, then you can't be in that spirit of avoidance, either in your business or in your marriage. You can't be afraid of a conflict, because conflict is not a dirty word. I was just thinking today, you have clients par for the course say they want to do something with you, and then they send you an email and something came up and it's par for the course. But I'm not gonna, if I knew, sweetie, that this was so important to you, I'm not letting you go that easy. I'm not letting you go by the wayside. You got to let me know what's up. Well, what happened? What was the shift? For some of you, you're just like, well, they said it, you know, I guess that's it, you know, because you don't want to deal, it's a fear. You're afraid of that. And both of us deal heavily in mindset. Mindset in business is, this woman takes it to a level that just feels like it's on another plane, okay? But that's where the shift is. So what's that conversation for you that you know you need to have that you're not having? And what's blocking you from doing that is you don't really know how to approach that conversation in a way that you feel that it's going to get you that resolution that you talked about.
Because if you did know, you would do, right?
Exactly.
If you did know, you would do.
Exactly.
And sometimes if you did know, but you were stable emotionally, you would do. So if you know and you're not doing, then like I love to say, you know, not to crap on my girl, because God knows she ain't have nothing but wisdom. But you know, as we go, we refine and we evolve. There's a statement that says, if you know better, you do better. And I love to say that if you know better, you know, if you know how to do better, you'll do better. Because a lot of us know we should do some things, something really simple, like we know that we should say, but when that itch comes up and there's something that you feel needs to be done, why don't you exercise the discipline to do something different? So the knowing is not necessarily good enough. It's the knowing how that makes the difference. So yeah, we know that you read some books. We know that you looked at some information that said that you're supposed to, you know, talk with peace, and you're not supposed to, you know, go to bed, you know, angry, and that you're not supposed to let the sun go down in your wrath. We know that you read something that says you're supposed to show up on social media and you're supposed to promote yourself and have an ideal client avatar. We know that you know you're supposed to do this stuff, but you still don't know how. I told you, you said one of the biggest questions that your people ask you, or the biggest statements they said, and I said mine. And one of the biggest things I get all the time is, what should I say? What should I do? Let me send you a screenshot. What should I say? What should I do? This email came. They forward the email to me. What should I say? What should I do? I get that all the time, because the skill set of speaking alone actually is very difficult for people. You want to know why? Because you want to be diplomatic, but you also want to be, you know, kind. You want to make sure that you have thank you. You want to make sure that you are affirmative and that you are on point, but that you're also compassionate. We understand that you have these dynamics in you. At the end of the day, y'all that know me, y'all know I'm bad boss in your face. Like, you're gonna be great on my watch. You better decide that you're gonna be great. But nevertheless, I will cry a million tears with you. We will snot and do the ugly face together. I literally had a client the other day. I want you all see. You all don't even, you understand love, ladies, like literally understand love. And so I personally believe, and I'm gonna leave this right here, because we approaching a significant amount of time. If there's one thing that I've learned about the women that God has sent to me to be served, is that you have what's called a love deficit. And some of y'all situations, they are so obscure, and you sitting there acting like you need to suffer by yourself. I have about 6 clients in Atlanta. And so it feels really good now to be able to see people at any given time in the city streets. And I had a client that had an issue, and I reached out to her and asked her what was going on. And she said a couple of things to me. And, I was like, whoa. I see you and I feel something. Let me start asking some other questions. And this woman was going through something that was so extreme, and she lives 45 minutes away from me. And it has something to do with her spouse. And I could have stayed on the phone. I could have hopped on a Zoom with her, but I'm gonna need y'all to know that I said, give me that address again. And I hopped in my car and I drove, and I did not leave until I felt that there was a spirit of peace in her to at least navigate the place where she was at. Now, I know I can't just always hop in the car and go to people and stuff like that. But the point is, some of you all, you kind of can envision yourself doing that, because most of the women that I know are attracted to me and her, you kind of got this ministerial vibe to what you do. And a lot of you have even exercised your gifts in the church, and you kind of got fed up because the church people, they never want to pay you. They always wanted it to be your ministry. But I need you to understand something. If you are not allowing yourself to be loved in your relationship with your spouse, if you are not requiring yourself to be loved in a relationship with your spouse, there is no way on the world that you are going to be able to serve at that capacity. Because one thing I'm not is I'm not tired. One thing I'm not is I'm not in a space of regret. One thing I'm not is not worn out because, oh God, look at what the hell I have to do to help this client. I felt good because I was able to be there. But my capacity to love is fueled by the fact that I am loved. My capacity to love is because I'm overflowing in it. And some of you all want these big old huge thriving businesses, but you don't understand that if you get one too many clients, when that shit hits the fan, because it's gonna bubble up, that the people that are going to suffer are the people that decided to work with you, because we're all a hairline away from sane and insane if the right situation should occur. And so once again, the universe is not withholding from you. The universe does not want you to not have access to. The universe is not sitting there saying, I don't want her to grow. I don't want her to prosper. I don't want her to have abundance, but not at the cost of my other people that I love so much. And so part of this is about you getting yourself healed, getting healed so you are in position to be able to serve at the capacity that you want to, because you feel called to. But just because you want to do it don't mean you're ready to do it.
And I would say it took me to a place there, because I had a client who, and not all mine are not local to me, but who, whose husband was going through surgery. I reached out, to her, make sure everything is okay. I mean, women who talked to me maybe 6, 7, 8 months ago that think I damn near forgot about them. I reach out to them, it's their birthday, or their kid just started at a new school, or, they just got, laid off and they're looking for another job. And so we don't even talk about business. It's just like, hey, is everything cool? Are you okay? People that are going through things like depression and just so many things that they're wrought with, and they're thinking that nobody's listening to them. And as coaches, because we are one that we know you at this core level, because that's the only way we can do what we do, how we do it. Yeah. That there is still a pull and there. When somebody tells me this, I remember, and you're there. And it might be a little fearful to be like, dang, I'm gonna really have, if I, doing this challenge, I'm gonna have to be, there's some vulnerability. Who knows what's gonna come out of me? I don't know. It's like Pandora's box. But you are in hands where there is safety. You are in hands where there is, if you are cracked open and things start to spill out, there will be us there to hold that space for you, to make sure that we are putting it back together and that it is just not spilling out into nowhere. And that's important. I'm gonna get to some of these comments.
Yeah, I put it up here to make it a little easier for you to read it. My bad.
Because he said, that's a good one, Mackenzie. Some of us think we're being the bigger person by just sucking it up.
Well, we might need to go back and comment.
Did we miss something? Yeah,
hold up.
Facebook is a lie.
It isn't showing it all. You may have to scroll some.
I see. Yes, I was gonna say Shane is the culprit.
Oh, Shane. They're probably going to be Shane is the culprit. And then, okay.
I'm not avoiding it, but it's something we're working through now. We're working through each of our careers having equal value and importance. Regardless how much income it produces for the family, the one bringing in less cannot always be the one to make sacrifices when family has to come first. But no avoidance. I hear you absolutely, Mackenzie. And you know, and I would, you know, and I would. And I don't know if you're comfortable putting here, but just thinking about, well, what is it that's happening that's working through? Is that you working through it and you're feeling like you guys are taking the steps and making the progress and moving the way you want to? Is there still something you feel like that you can glean from coming into the challenge and, you know, and working through that? Because, you know, I know that you're an author. If there's something else going on, I'm not sure what that is in your business, but you would know. And you know, and if that's something where it's like, okay, what else does this look like to continue to move this in the direction that we want it to go in? But I hear you, Mackenzie, for not avoiding, and I've seen you in these streets doing that, and I get it, and I applaud you for that. And thank you so much for your words, Kristen. You said that's a good one, Mackenzie. Yeah, sucking it up. Kristen said guilt and acceptance of the entrepreneurial process is something that has to be dealt with deeply in my relationships. Absolutely.
And so I want to put the invitation out there. And Kristen, we've barely gotten a chance to meet each other since you saw the post about these couch conversations. And since you came in late, which we were about to announce it again anyway, we are doing a free challenge. And the thing about it is we're also trying to get you ladies to see that we're not, don't get me wrong, if you down and downtrodden, we want you to. But we are looking for working with the woman that says, I want to elevate. Yes. And that I don't want to take the snail's path. A lot of us, you know, we sometimes say, oh, well, I'm working, and this is not directed at you, Mackenzie, but because some other people use that verbiage, you can say, well, I'm working on it. But then how long have you been working on it? And so what's the difference? Is it going to take you 5 or 10 years for you to work on it? Or is it going to be one of those things where by getting the expert advice from someone like myself and Imani, how is that exponentially going to accelerate what you're working through? How, you know, are you doing a whole lot of trial and error where there will still be some trial and error and some testing? You will have someone that has a different perspective and has a plethora of strategies to say, this is what the link is on there, sweetie. This is what you specifically need to do in order to accelerate that, you know, and because you said something in your comment that's important, you know, the sacrifice is not about who brings the most income or the least. It is about what's good for the team. Yeah. You know, and so there's so many dynamics, and I want to invite everyone that's listening. But yes, you know, Kristen, Mackenzie, click the link, go ahead, get ready, because once August 6th hits, we hitting the pavement and we hitting it hard. And anybody that's ever been in my challenge, you or even in Imani's challenges, you already know. You know beyond a shadow of a doubt that when we get through with you all, I'm willing to guarantee you that in our 5-day challenge, you will say that you've never experienced anything like it. In our 5-day challenge, you will sit there and say, I've never seen someone serve at that capacity for free. Hey, Scotch Lover, you're late, 2 p.m. EST, but this was the juicy one. We came in hard. And so if you all want to be in on the challenge, the link will be on mine in a little bit, but sign up. We're going to be walking you through these examples of what you're dealing with in your marriage and how it's showing up in your business. And a lot of you are going to get immediate breakthroughs. Don't make me play. I'm going to help y'all out. Go to augustcrenshaw.com. Go to testimonial tab. It was a capture clients with live and video challenge. And there's a woman on there. She said, you change people's lives in 24 and 48 hours. Because when we go in, we don't know how to go anyway, other than all the way in. We go hard or we go home. And so if you want to be served, if you want to see the possibilities, if you want to elevate, thank you, darling. Congratulations. You will not forget this. And tag your friends, tag your sisters, let them know to come on in and to get some of this, because you got 2 of the most brilliant minds on the planet when it comes to dealing with your profit in your pockets and your peace in your household. Okay. So we've been on here for a significant amount of time. We need to kind of wind down. Don't forget, if you've been watching us and you shared, you get your name in the drawing. We're going to be doing another drawing to see who gets the free session with us, where we're going to dig in. We're going to help you see some stuff y'all didn't see, ladies. Absolutely. Because that elevation growth is always about shaving off another layer, peeling back the layers on the onion. So share this out 3 times in the drawing. If you share Scotch Lover, we on Facebook with each other now. If you can, go on my page and share it there. We'll put you, I'll put you in the drawing too, because I ain't got I don't discriminate. We don't discriminate. Tag your friends, sign up. We will be back here next Monday. Come on now, Mackenzie. Y'all coming. Some women saying,
I'm elevating
I'm
right
good,
now.
but I want to be better. Or they
Exactly.
saying I'm great, but I want to be greater.
Upper echelon, baby.
Upper echelon people are coming and signing up.
Yes.
So thank you guys.
Thank you
always.
so much.
Okay. Thank you for always.
Yes.
Yeah. For sitting here.
I just be listening. Y'all awesome. You know what I mean? Because we know we be going there. We know when we take y'all be like, oh, we got the life.
And we kind of beat y'all up today in a loving way.
Yes.
Hey, when you go back Scotch Lover, we went in hard. We called some SHIT out.
Yeah. And tough love, always. Absolutely, Kristen. Tough love, because we know what's possible. That's what a coach does. They hold that space for that vision for what's possible, that bird's eye view for what's possible, that grounded view and that bird's eye view, and get you to that, you know, in that shortest, most transformational time. Absolutely. We trying to make you soar. We don't want you plucking your head down like a chicken. We want you up flying like an eagle. We are no scaredy cats up in here. So we gonna get out of here. It's been a pleasure, you guys. Mwah, we love you. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the other side. Deuces. Maybe. Let me make sure I got this cut off. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. Now, let me look. This will be the bloopers. Hey, the blooper. Hey, watch us talk shit. You'll be like, oh my God, they didn't know that the camera was still on, and they were saying all kind of retarded stuff. You thought you had us. You didn't.